The ship floated in the cold darkness of space. The Artemis, a human exploration cruiser, moved slowly through Sector 9, a quiet, dead area of the galaxy. No stars, no signals, no life. Just silence. Captain Juno leaned forward in her seat, staring at the empty screen. She had gray eyes and short brown hair tied behind her head. Her crew was silent. Everyone felt the stillness of Sector 9. Suddenly, a soft beep echoed across the bridge. The screen blinked. "Captain," said Ensign Malik, the communications officer, "I'm picking up something." Juno raised an eyebrow. "Out here? What is it?" Malik pressed buttons quickly. "It's an old distress signal, repeating. Weak, but steady. Source? Deep inside the asteroid field ahead. Coordinates locked." Juno stood up. "Put it on speakers." A crackling voice filled the bridge. It was broken, full of static, but they heard the words. "Please. Help. They're all gone. I'm alone." The crew stared at each other. "That's not a machine," said Engineer Rosa. "That's a child's voice." "Impossible," Malik whispered. "No one lives here. Sector 9 was abandoned 50 years ago. There was a war. Everyone left." Juno's voice was calm but firm. "Set course, let's find that signal." The ship slowly entered the asteroid field. It was dark, with giant rocks floating all around them. The pilot, Chief Jax, moved carefully between them. Minutes passed. Then Rosa shouted, "I see something." On the screen, one small structure. Looks like a crashed escape pod. The Artemis stopped near the wreck. A small light blinked on the broken pod. Juno, Rosa, and two soldiers put on suits and stepped outside. Dust and silence surrounded them. Inside the pod, Juno found her. A small alien girl, maybe 9 or 10 years old in human years, lay on the cold floor. Her skin was pale blue, glowing slightly. Her body was thin, weak, and covered in scratches. But she was breathing. "She's alive," Juno said softly. "Barely." The girl opened her eyes. Bright silver eyes looked up at the human captain. She whispered, "Please, don't leave me." Juno lifted her into her arms. The girl was so light. "We're not leaving you," she promised. Back. On the ship, Rosa worked fast in the medical bay. The girl's wounds were strange. Some were burns, others looked like cuts from energy weapons. "She's been through a lot," Rosa said. "But she'll survive." Malik ran tests on the girl's DNA. His hands shook. "Captain, I think you should see this." Juno walked over. The screen showed results no one expected. "She's not from any known species, but there's a match in the ancient database. She's Solari." The room went silent. "The Solari? That's not possible," Rosa said. "They disappeared before humans even reached space." Juno stared at the screen. The galaxy believed they were extinct. "Then why is she here?" Malik asked. "Alone, in Sector 9. Juno looked at the small alien girl resting in the medbay. She didn't have answers, but her gut told her this was bigger than anyone knew. That night, as the ship moved out of the asteroid field, Juno stood alone at the viewing window. Stars twinkled in the distance, but Sector 9 stayed dark behind them. The girl's voice still echoed in her mind. "Please, don't leave me," Juno whispered to herself. "We won't." But deep inside, a strange feeling grew. Finding this child wasn't luck. It was something else. Something that would change everything. Far away, hidden in shadows, someone was watching the Artemis through an unseen eye. A dark voice spoke in an unknown language. "She has been found by humans," and then the signal went dead. The alien girl didn't speak for 2 days. She just sat in the corner of the medical bay, knees hugged to her chest, watching everything. Her silver eyes followed the crew but said nothing. Juno tried to talk, offer food, even show her pictures of Earth. But the girl just stared. Rosa scanned her vitals. Her body is healing faster than expected, but Her mind is locked. She's scared like a wild animal. Not wild, Juno said softly. Just broken. They called her Kira because she wouldn't give a name. That night something strange happened. The ship's lights flickered. Doors opened on their own. The medical tools started floating, then fell to the floor. Everyone rushed to the med bay. Kira was floating, her eyes glowing bright white. Her mouth opened, but no words came. Just a high-pitched hum filled the room. It made the crew's heads hurt. Then, just as suddenly, she dropped to the floor. Unconscious. Is this psychic power? Rosa asked, shocked. Malik had a theory. He pulled old records from ancient human databases. Things barely anyone remembered. Warnings from long ago. I think the Zalari were not just powerful. They were something else. Some say they didn't die. They were erased because others feared what they could do. He played an old archive. A shaky video from a destroyed moon showed a Zalari fleet glowing with energy, tearing enemy ships apart with no weapons. Just pure thought. Juno's voice dropped to a whisper. What happened to them? The next day, Kira finally spoke. In a soft, broken voice, she said, They burned our skies. They crushed our cities, then they made the galaxy forget us. The crew froze. Kira continued slowly. They made us monsters in stories. Scary myths, so no one would help, even if someone survived. Juno sat beside her. Who did this, Kira? Kira's hands trembled. The ones we trusted, the ones we helped build their empires. They feared us when we stopped obeying. Juno asked gently, Why did they fear you? Kira looked into her eyes and said, Because we were never supposed to lose. Later, Malik shared new test results. Kira's DNA is old, very old. It doesn't match with any living species, but inside I found locked data. Data? Like a computer? Rosa asked. Yes. Malik nodded. She's carrying genetic memories, maybe millions of years old. We just need the right trigger. Juno made a decision. We're going back to Earth. The Council needs to see this. Humanity needs to know who we just saved. But as they prepared for jump, the ship's sensors caught something strange. A massive structure appeared behind them. Dark, silent, like a floating fortress. It hadn't been there before. It gave off no signal, no power. But it felt old. Kira screamed. No, she cried, that place is death. The ship shook. The lights dimmed. Something was waking up inside the fortress, and it was not happy. Juno looked at her crew. Do we investigate? Malik whispered. Captain, if that station holds more secrets, maybe even the reason they were erased, we have to look. Kira's voice shook. Inside that place are the last memories of my people, but also the ones who betrayed us. Rosa checked her tools. Whatever is in there might explain why the Zalari were destroyed. Juno clenched her fists. Then we'll go, but we stay ready. The Artemis turned slowly toward the ancient station. It looked dead from the outside, but something inside had already noticed them, and it had started to wake. The ancient space station hung like a grave in the void, silent, black, and untouched for 1,000 years. As the Artemis docked, carefully against the cold hull, no lights came on, no signs of life, just deep shadows waiting to be disturbed. Captain Juno stepped onto the station with Rosa, Malik, and 2 security officers. Kira stayed on the ship, watched over by medical staff. Her eyes had gone dull again. She barely moved, barely spoke. But when the crew entered the station, she began to whisper in her sleep. At first it was quiet, just broken words in a language no one recognized. But then her voice grew stronger. Don't go inside. The shadows remember. The betrayer walks. Back inside the station, the team moved through empty halls. Dust floated in the air like ash. Strange symbols glowed dimly on the walls. Zalari, script long dead. Rosa scanned them. These words aren't just warnings, they're memories. like living records written in energy. One panel pulsed faintly. Malik placed his hand on it, and it lit up. A hologram appeared, showing the final moments of the Zalari people. They saw a tall, glowing being standing in a grand hall. A meeting, peace talks, and then betrayal. The allies of the Zalari drew hidden weapons. Ships bombarded cities. The sky turned fire red. A single word was shouted again and again. Purge. The hologram faded. Rosa shook her head. They weren't just wiped out. They were stabbed in the back by the ones they built the galaxy with. Suddenly, the lights in the corridor snapped on. A cold blue glow flooded the station. "Captain," Malik said slowly, "we didn't touch anything." Back on the Artemis, Kira's whispers turned into screams. "Run. They're watching. He's here. He never died." Medical staff tried to calm her, but her body floated into the air again. Her voice was not hers anymore. It sounded older, deeper, as if something ancient spoke through her. "They will not stop. They erased us once. They will erase again." The station. A door slammed shut behind the crew. Juno raised her weapon. "Something is in here." A shadow moved across the wall, fast like smoke alive. Rosa scanned it. Energy readings, too high. That's not human, and not Zalari either. "It's something else," Malik whispered. "A ghost left behind. Maybe a guardian, or an executioner." The crew ran back, trying to reach the exit. But the path had changed. The station had shifted. Walls moved. Floors split. They were being hunted. Rosa's scanner beeped. "Captain, this place is alive. It's changing to trap us." Juno activated her wristcom. "Evacuate the ship. If we don't return in 10 minutes, jump away." But on the Artemis, Kira suddenly opened her glowing eyes and said in a clear voice, "No. Do not leave. I can open the way, but I need to remember you're who I am." She collapsed again, this time whispering one name again and again. "Vaelzir. Vaelzir." Malik heard it through the comm. His face went pale. "That name. I've read it in the ancient archives. Vaelzir was the one who led the purge. He was a friend of the Zalari, until he betrayed them." Juno narrowed her eyes. "Is he still alive?" Kira answered from the ship, voice shaking. "Not alive, too, but not dead. He lives in the memory, in the code, in the dark." Suddenly the shadow attacked. A beam of black light hit the wall beside Malik. The air turned cold. The floor cracked. Juno fired back, but her shots passed through it. "It's not real," Rosa gasped. "It's a memory, a weapon made of thought." Kira, back on the ship, floated again. She raised her hand slowly, and inside the station, a path opened, walls split, light flooded the hall. Juno ran. The crew followed. The shadow screamed like 1,000 voices trapped in pain. They reached the exit just in time. The airlock sealed behind them. On the ship, Kira collapsed into Juno's arms. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I brought you into this, but the truth is worse than you think." Juno looked at her with steady eyes. "Then show us. We won't leave you." Outside, the ancient station went dark again. But the shadow still moved inside, waiting, remembering. Kira didn't sleep after the station incident. She sat alone in the viewing room, staring out at the stars. Her silver eyes glowed faintly. Captain Juno watched her from a distance. No one else said it aloud, but the crew now feared the little girl. They had seen her float. They had heard ancient voices speak through her, and worse, they saw her open doors in a station that should have stayed sealed forever. But Juno didn't fear her. She feared what Kira remembered. "Kira," Juno said softly, walking over. "You said there was a place where the memories of your people live. Where is it?" Kira turned slowly. "The flame. A star that burns but gives no heat, hidden in dust. It is the heart of what we were." Juno nodded. "Then we'll go there. Malik raised concerns. Captain, that area doesn't exist on any modern maps. It might be in dark space. No light, no rescue. Juno answered, That's where humanity belongs, in the places everyone else is too afraid to go. The Artemis changed course. For 2 days they traveled through quiet space. No signals, no ships, just emptiness. And then, they saw it, a massive red nebula flaming like a storm but freezing cold. In the center, a dark sphere floated, no stars around it, no heat, just a pulsing black light. The flame beyond stars, Kira whispered. We called it Elar-Zeth. It remembers everything. The Artemis approached the black orb. It wasn't a star or a planet. It was something older, a living vault of memory, a library built from dark matter. Suddenly their ship shut down. No engines, shouted Rosa. Power is draining. Something's pulling us in. Kira stood. It's testing you. Juno frowned. Testing us? Kira nodded. It wants to know if you're like them, the ones who betrayed us. Then, without warning, Kira collapsed. Her body went stiff. Her eyes rolled back. A strange mark glowed on her chest, a star-shaped symbol with 7 burning lines. Malik scanned her. She's entering some kind of memory trance, a connection with the flame. Juno held her hand. Is she in danger? Yes, Malik said. If the memories are too much, they could tear her mind apart. Suddenly, the screen on the ER ship flashed. A voice, mechanical, ancient, deep, spoke. Who are you to touch the flame? You, who carry the last spark? Juno answered. We are humans. We found her. We protected her. Protection is not enough. Sacrifice is required. Without warning, one of the crew, Security Officer Reese, screamed. His body lifted off the floor. Black light wrapped around him. Let him go, Juno shouted. One must be weighed. Kira's voice came through the ship's speaker, but it wasn't her voice. I will take his place. And just like that, the light dropped Reese. He fell, unconscious but alive. Juno turned to Kira, whose body glowed with bright light now. She floated in the air, peaceful, her voice soft. I remember now. My mother was the star speaker. She sealed our memories here to protect the truth. But she died during the purge. Only I remain. The ship powered back up. Lights returned. Engines hummed. But now, the flame had accepted them. A beam of light shot from the black orb. It entered the ship, striking the floor. A small object formed, a crystal, glowing silver and blue. Kira opened her eyes. That is the truth of what happened, but it comes with a warning. Juno picked up the crystal. What warning? She asked. Kira looked sad. If you share the truth with the galaxy, they will come for you. Malik frowned. Who? Kira whispered. The betrayer never died. He hides behind the council now, the same council that rules the galaxy. They are built on the bones of my people. Juno held the crystal tight. Then it's time the galaxy remembers. But outside, the ship in the swirling clouds of the nebula, something huge moved. An ancient machine shaped like a dragon made of metal and shadow opened its eyes. Vile-Zir had awakened. Earth had never seen a message like this. Captain Juno stood before the United Terran Council, her face cold and serious. Behind her, on a secured table, the silver-blue memory crystal pulsed with light. Kira sat quietly beside her, hands folded in her lap. Her skin shimmered faintly in the bright lights of the council chamber. The room was filled with high-ranking generals, scientists, diplomats, and Fear Juno pressed a button. A projection filled the room. Screams, explosions, Zalari cities being wiped from the sky. The word purge repeated again and again. Then the final moment. The faces of the betrayers, alien leaders now sitting on the Galactic High Council. When the recording ended, no one spoke. Juno said, "This is not just a memory, it's the truth." The galaxy's Great Council was built on genocide. The Zalari trusted them and were destroyed for it. The defense minister stood. And what do you want us to do? March to war with the most powerful alliance in the galaxy over an extinct race? She's not extinct, Juno said, pointing at Kira. She's standing right here, and if we don't act, they'll try to erase her again. Kira looked up slowly. They will come for me. They already know. As if on cue, Earth's orbiting satellites picked up a signal. A massive alien fleet had entered the Sol system. No warning, no demands. Just one message, broadcast across Earth. Return the last of the Zalari, or face judgment. Panic exploded. Across the planet, Juno returned to the Artemis. Her crew was ready, some angry, some afraid. We warned them, Rosa said. They didn't believe us. Now the Council sends warships? Juno nodded. They don't want peace, they want silence. The president of Earth called Juno privately. You are to hand over the girl. No resistance. We cannot risk all out. War. Juno's voice was calm. If we give them Kira, we tell the galaxy we support murder and lies. The president whispered. Then you're on your own. Juno disconnected. She turned to her crew. We stand alone now. Anyone who wants to leave, do it now. No judgment. No one moved. Malik said. They're expecting weak humans. We've disappointed enemies before. Jax, the pilot, added. We're a deathworld species. Let's remind them why. Rosa checked her scanners. We can't fight them head on, but we can hurt them, strike from the shadows, use Kira's tech, use Earth's old war AI. Juno smiled. Then let's make it a lesson. In orbit, the alien fleet moved into position. Giant ships, dark and cold like floating blades. One by one, they aimed their weapons at Earth. Kira stood on the bridge of the Artemis. Her voice shook. I was never meant to survive. But you gave me a second chance. She placed her hand on the crystal, and it melted into her skin. I remember it all now. A blast of light erupted from her body, connecting her to the ship. Zalari tech awakened deep inside the Artemis. Old panels transformed, human systems fused with alien knowledge. The ship groaned but didn't break. Juno looked around. She's changing the ship. Kira said, No, I'm finishing it. The Artemis was now part human, part Zalari. Faster, stronger, smarter. Juno gave the order. Let's show the galaxy what happens when you corner Earth. As the fleet prepared to strike, one alien commander spoke. Destroy the ship. Take the girl. Make Earth forget. But Earth had already remembered. In the dark silence of space above Earth, 1,000 warships floated like sharks in water, ready to strike. Each ship carried weapons built to erase planets, crush moons, and silence civilizations. And all of them had come for one small girl. Inside, the Artemis, Kira stood in the center of the bridge, her hands glowing as they touched the ship's controls. The lights inside flickered. Human and Zalari systems now worked as one. This ship is alive now, Rosa whispered. It listens to her. Malik watched the readings. We've never seen this kind of power. Kira spoke softly. You gave me your protection. Now I give you my people's last gift. From deep inside Earth's orbit, hidden satellites powered on. Old weapons from the last war. Rogue AIs, once banned, reawakened. Their voices returned with cold logic. Target identified. Permission to defend humanity? Juno gave a simple answer. Permission granted. The alien fleet began to move. First came their demand. Surrender the Zalari, or Earth will burn. Juno stood, not from pride, but from duty. You had your chance to speak, now hear ours. We are Deathworlders. We don't kneel, we don't forget, and we don't forgive betrayal. The first alien beam hit Earth's defense shield. It held for 5 seconds. Then it broke. On the ground, cities prepared for evacuation. Civilians ran to underground bunkers. But above, in orbit, Earth's hidden cards were ready. The Artemis launched forward like a blade. Kira's energy fed into its core. Shields reformed, Weapons changed shape. Lasers curved through space, moving like they were alive. The first alien battleship exploded. Silence, then shock. The galaxy was watching. One of the alien commanders shouted, "That's impossible, that ship is too small." Then Earth fired back. From Antarctica, an old planetary cannon awoke. From the moon's dark side, human-built stealth cruisers emerged, cloaked, for 20 years. They flew fast, furious, and wild. No alien tactics could match their chaos. On the Artemis, Kira cried out, "They're trying to shut me down, psychic attack." Rosa quickly linked Kira's mind to the ship's AI. "Let it share the pain. You are not alone now." Kira screamed, but didn't fall. Instead, she released a wave of energy. For one moment, all Zolari symbols across the galaxy lit up, those buried, hidden, or forgotten. The truth had been awakened. One alien cruiser paused in battle. Its crew, non-council members, received the full truth. The betrayal, the purge, the lies, they stopped firing. Then another ship stopped. And another. Within the council fleet, confusion grew. Some believed the truth, some did not. But it was too late. Juno aimed the Artemis toward the command ship, the one holding Valzir's mind locked in dark energy. "Kira," she said, "can we reach him?" Kira's eyes turned bright silver. "Yes, but I'll have to show him who he used. Before he turned into a monster." The final battle was near. Earth had no allies, but it had something else. Truth. Rage. And a little girl who remembered everything. The sky above Earth was burning. The stars were hidden behind energy blasts, black smoke, and glowing wrecks of fallen ships. Alien cruisers, some massive as cities, floated shattered in the void. And at the center of it all, one small ship, moving faster than any machine should, guided by the thoughts of a human captain. And a child who carried an empire in her blood. Kira stood on the bridge of the Artemis. Her hands trembled, her body weak, but her mind was awake, fully awake. Memories from a forgotten age rushed through her like fire. She remembered the Zolari, cities in the sky, their golden towers, the peace they offered, the betrayal that followed. She remembered her mother, the star speaker whispering as she placed the memory crystal into Kira's body. "If you survive, little light, bring truth to those who deserve it." Now that time had come. The Artemis dove beneath an enemy destroyer. Its hull shook from a near hit. Sparks rained across the bridge. "Shields are down to 18%, Rosa shouted. "Redirect all power to the front," Juno ordered. "We're not running, we're going through." Malik shouted from the side. "We're closing in on the command ship. It's charging its main cannon." Outside, the enemy's flagship, the Hand of Silence, turned its massive body toward Earth. Its long spines glowed red, ready to fire a planet-killer beam. Inside it was Valzir, once a great mind, now a shadow kept alive through machines, data, and hatred. A traitor who turned against the Zolari, the one who led the purge. But now, he had a visitor. Kira closed her eyes. Her mind left her body, entering the psychic field around the ship. She let the flame inside her open and her thoughts traveled like light. She stepped into his memory chamber, a place built from pain. There he stood, Valzir, a being of black smoke, silver wires, and flickering lights where a face used to be. "You," he said. "The last spark. I erased you." Kira stood tall despite her fear. "You erased the bodies, not the truth." He laughed. It sounded like breaking glass. "I made peace. I removed the chaos the Zolari would bring." "You removed what you feared," she said. "And now you fear me. Because I know what you are." Zolari were not gods. They were weapons with hearts. "We were peace with strength," Kira said. "You betrayed both." She reached forward, and the crystal inside her chest lit up. A wave of light spread across the psychic space. Suddenly, around Valzir, memories awakened. He saw children he once taught. He saw cities he once helped build. He saw the moment he gave the order to destroy it all. For the first time in centuries, he hesitated. "You were my student," he whispered. "I remember now." Kira nodded. "And you were my teacher." On the Artemis, the command ship came into range. "Cannon charging," Malik shouted. Juno didn't blink. "Hold the... don't fire yet." Rosa looked confused. "We're going to die," Juno said calmly. "If Kira's inside that monster's mind, then I won't kill her hope. We give her this moment." The hand of silence locked onto Earth. Its beam glowed bright. The end was seconds away. Inside the memory chamber, Valzir began to shake. "You don't understand. If the truth spreads, the galaxy will burn." Kira stepped forward. "No, the galaxy will heal. But only if it remembers what was lost." She placed her hand on his chest and his form flickered. "You once stood for balance, you can again. Or die as a lie." And then, with a soft voice, she spoke in ancient Silari. "Ashari Lumkai, star to star, life to light." It was the final, saying of the Zilari, the vow of guardianship. Valzir screamed, his machine mind cracked, energy flared. On the battlefield, the hand of silence stopped charging. The massive ship powered down. Its lights dimmed, weapons went cold. Then across every council warship, a signal appeared. "Warning, Valzir system failure, core memory corrupted." Some ships began to retreat. Others lost control. Confusion broke their perfect formations, and the Artemis? It flew straight into the heart of their line, firing not just weapons, but truth. Kira had uploaded the full crystal to the Galactic network. Every species, every citizen, every corner of the known universe could now see what the Council had done. The purge, the lies, the betrayal. Some ships joined Earth's side, others fell back in shame. The rest tried to fight, but they were already too late. Inside the Council's war room far away, panic spread. "They've seen the files. End the feed. Cut the relay." But the truth couldn't be stopped now. Galaxies far and wide began to question their leaders. People protested. Allies withdrew. And one word echoed louder than any cannon: justice. Back on Earth, the Artemis landed. Kira walked down the ramp slowly. Her body was weak. The glow in her eyes had dimmed. Juno met her with open arms. "You did it," she said. Kira whispered. "No, we did it." Behind them, Earth's people stood silent, watching this small alien girl who had survived the impossible. Then slowly, they began to cheer, not for victory, not for war, but for a second chance. Weeks passed. The Galactic Council fractured. New leadership was formed. Truth commissions began. Earth, once ignored, became a symbol of justice and courage. The species from the deathworld, the ones no one thought would matter, had reminded the galaxy of something important. Right and wrong still exist. Kira stayed on Earth. She wore human clothes now, went to a human school, laughed like a normal girl, but inside her still lived the voice of a million ancestors. One day, she stood with Juno at the edge of the sea. "I miss my people," Kira said softly. Juno nodded. "Then let's build something they'd be proud of." The stars above were no longer silent. The last child of the stars had spoken. And this time, the galaxy listened.